Go and sit in a Rolls Royce. Why do I say that? Many of us have a distorted relationship with money, and more specifically, with the idea of wealth. If you grew up in a home where money was a taboo subject, you heard your parents say things like, money's not everything. Money's the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. That conditions you to fear money, essentially. It conditions you to fear wealth. It keeps you in a scarcity mindset. And as somebody who trades the financial markets, I've learned that my subconscious beliefs around money have impacted, in the early stages, my trading performance, because I didn't feel like I deserved to do well. I didn't feel like I deserved to close a trade in a £1,000 profit. I just felt weird about that. Like, that's a lot of money. Let me just close it before that, you know. And that does, of course, impact your performance because you end up closing trades too early. At the time, I didn't really question it. But then, to develop my understanding of the financial markets and to improve my performance, I started looking deeper. And there's a great book, if you're a trader, called Trading in the Zone by a guy called Mark Douglas. He really breaks down the psychology behind great traders, what makes them great. And it's not how much they know about the financial markets. It's their understanding, their self-awareness of their limiting beliefs. You can't fix what you're not aware of. You can't fix what you're not aware of, right? You have to identify the issue in order to fix it. And we don't think of our limiting beliefs as a reason for our poor performance in trading. But it absolutely is that. It's not so much the strategy, although, of course, some strategies may be better than others. It's very rarely the strategy. It's your beliefs around money. It impacts you. And this also applies, by the way, to career progression. A lot of guys don't feel like they deserve to be on a fat salary. You know, you start talking about six-figure salaries, a lot of guys are like, no, that's unrealistic. I can't do that. I'm not this, I'm not that. And they proceed to list reasons as to why they are unworthy of being on such money. Perhaps none of your family members have ever got close to achieving that sort of money. So you almost think like, well, we're not cut out. You put your entire family and your related family in a box, and you're like, well, we're not that kind of, you know, we're not those people that do well. And this is why it's so important to surround yourself with people that are exceptional performers. I'm not saying cut off your family and hang around millionaires on a yacht in Dubai. That's not what I'm saying. But start to have conversations with people that are exceptional at making money, regardless of what industry they're in, because they will remove the lid, if you want to call it that. They will remove the lid, and now you can see up. Now you can see so far in the sky. Before, you had a cap, a little lid on top of the box that you were in, and you couldn't see anything out of it, right? When you're around people that are exceptional at making money, they inspire you to think bigger. And oftentimes what you realize is that those individuals, they're not God's gift to the world. They weren't born to be millionaires in most cases. Most millionaires are self-made. There are, of course, a few that inherited their wealth, but most millionaires are self-made. So they're not God's gift to the world. They weren't born as God's chosen people, if you want to call it that. They had to create their own wealth. And what you realize a lot of the times is that these guys aren't even that special. And what I mean by that is they're not the highest IQ. They're not the smartest people. They just happen to have delusional self-belief. And they're big dreamers. They really are. They believe in the possibilities. They don't focus on why they can't. They don't focus on the lack, the competition, the saturation, all these BS excuses that you hear nowadays. The market's saturated. There's too many people doing it. No, they bet on themselves. They're like, well, no, I can do this. Right? They dumb it down and do it. They don't overthink it. They just, all right, fuck it, let's do this. And so they go out there and have this, perhaps you want to call it retarded self-belief. I know that phrase is a little bit controversial nowadays. You can't say that, it's mean. But no, they have this retarded self-belief in themselves. They just go out there and execute as much as they possibly can. And they don't feel unworthy. Going back to the money and the feelings of not deserving it, they don't feel like they don't deserve it. And so one way to help you think differently about money is to hang around people that are making a lot of money. Hang around where they hang around. If you can't afford to go on a yacht, I'm not telling you to do that. But go to a nice hotel lounge, a 5-star hotel lounge. Sit down, order a cup of coffee. It's a different environment. The caliber of people are different. I'm not saying that they're better than somebody who makes less money. But the environment feels nicer. It feels premium. It's definitely a lot better than sitting in a crowded Starbucks cafe. Right? There's usually some nice ambient lighting, some nice music in the background. Maybe a grand piano, someone playing a grand piano in the corner. It's a nice feeling. It makes you feel different. And there's a saying, when you feel good, you do good. When you start to enjoy that feeling, you're like, well, I want to experience this more often. There's a funny meme on Instagram right now. When you start tasting a little bit of a luxury and you understand corruption. Yeah, man, it's funny. Man, look, I don't want you to be corrupt now. Definitely do things the right way. Legal, moral, and ethical. But when you start enjoying that feeling, you're like, I want to experience this more often. I really do. And I want you to go as far as go into your dream dealership, of your dream car. I said at the beginning of the video, sit in a Rolls Royce. I mean, that's as best as you're going to get in terms of luxury. Do that. Now, you might be thinking, well, Ali, I don't want to make them look at me in a funny way. Get out your comfort zone. Sit in that car. Just experience what it's like to be inside a Rolls Royce. You'll smell the leather. You'll see how excellent the materials are. Take it all in. Start to familiarize yourself with these things. The people that are driving the Rolls Royces and the Bentleys, they're not better than you. They're not God's chosen people, for goodness sakes. They are mortal human beings who eat, shit, sleep. They're not better than you. Don't worship these individuals, because that's what you're doing essentially when you feel like you're not cut out, but it's only reserved for a certain kind of people. You're kind of putting them on a pedestal. You're making yourself subhuman. You're making these people that can afford these luxury things superior beings to you. No, there's no superior being to me. God created me just like he created you. And if someone's ahead of me financially, it doesn't make them a better human being than me. No. They may have started before me. They may have knowledge that I don't yet have. And this is why it's important to invest in coaching and mentorship and go to events and read the right books, because information changes situations. Where you are right now, your income level right now is predicated on what you know. And that's why there's the saying, the more you learn, the more you earn. Acquire new information. A mind stretched beyond its current faculties never returns back to its original dimensions. It never does. It's hard to go back to not knowing, right? When you become enlightened, it changes you. when you taste the possibilities of what's out there, some of you guys, you trade, some of you guys, you've made money drop shipping. When you taste a bit of cash from doing something that's not typical, from running an e-com business, from whatever, right? It's hard to go back and not believe, to lose that belief. It's hard because you've tasted it. You know it's possible. Now it's about making sure you have the right system in place to create that wealth and maintain that wealth, right? But you must first believe that you deserve to make that money. Now, I don't want you just to be caught up in this whole visualization thing and not do the work. No, you have to couple that with action. But I want you to shake yourself, get yourself out of your comfort zone, start dreaming again. Some of you guys, you haven't been dreaming since you were 7 years old. You were young, you had dreams, you wanted to buy a big house one day, drive a nice car. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. You said so many inspiring things when you were young. And then you graduated college and you buried your dreams. You settled for a regular job, paycheck to paycheck, and you stopped dreaming. There's nothing wrong with a job, it's just that you stopped dreaming. There's a saying, most people die at 25 but are only buried at 75. Which is unfortunately the reality, sad reality, right? I want you to start dreaming again. Believe that it's possible. But go out there, experience just a glimpse of what it's like to have a lot of money. Okay, surround yourself with wealth. Even if it's temporarily for a few hours, just experience it. Man, it changes you. You go back home and you're like, man, I want more of that. It inspires you to take action. Look, life is not all about what you own materialistically. It's about who you become as a person. The person that can afford to buy a Rolls Royce is a different caliber of guy. His contributions to the marketplace are usually way more significant. We're not talking about his qualities as a human being here. We're talking about his contribution to the marketplace. Jim Rohn used to say, the more valuable you become to the marketplace, the more you will earn. So then you start having questions about, okay, well, how can I contribute more to the marketplace? What problems do I need to solve? How many people do I need to help to get where I need to get? You start thinking about things like that. Okay? Before you were looking down. Now you're looking up at all the possibilities. Start dreaming. Go sit on a damn Rolls Royce. Phantom. Yes, sit down. Dress the part. Talk the part. No one's telling you to lie and pretend like, you're going to buy it next week. But go there, ask questions. Yeah, absolutely. I love this car. It's part of the plan at some point. They'll take you seriously, believe me. Some of you guys are like, oh, but what if they think I'm... Grow up. Come on now. You're not a child. You have every right to be in there. Okay, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment, let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.